Welcome back to This Day. Joining me now with the Shalom Club is Paula Kruger and also author Randy Biederman. Welcome, ladies. So nice to meet you. Appreciate you being here today.
Thank you.
Paula, tell me first about the Shalom Club and why your background. Why did you want to join this club?
Well, I moved here 2 years ago, and I decided, in order to become involved in the community, that I needed to join up and join in. So the Shalom Club was actually coming back post-pandemic. They had several meetings before, and this was the first reorganization meeting afterwards. And they needed a program chairperson, and like they say in the Army, you shouldn't raise your hand. Well, I raised my hand, and I became the program chair. And as they say, the rest is kind of history.
Yeah.
We put on about 20 events since September 2021 of tremendous variety, and we're looking forward to Sunday. I see that you have our plaque, and just to let people know, the overall thing of the Shalom Club, of course, Shalom is Hebrew for peace, which is an international verbiage. But we are not primarily a Jewish club. We are a social club. And the plaque reflects our goals in making friends, meaningful programs of tremendous diversity, and we welcome everyone.
Oh, well, I think you just answered my question. I was going to ask you what you love about this club, and I think that probably is a big part of why you like this club.
I like it in general, and I like it personally because I have met amazing people in my position as co-chair. I have made amazing friends, and it's a lot of fun.
Oh, that's wonderful. And so, Randy, you're going to be the speaker coming up on Sunday, and you're promoting this incredible book that you co-authored with your husband that's going to be discussed at the meeting. And when I read about what this book about, it says it's the unbelievable story of your father-in-law and his family and the gold coins they buried in their backyard in Poland just prior to being deported by the Nazis into concentration camps, and then the 23 years it took to find those coins. What an incredible story. Tell me about your father-in-law. What kind of man was he?
Sadly, unfortunately, I never met him.
Oh, wow.
He died when my husband was a teenager, so I unfortunately never had the chance to meet him. But what I heard about him was that he was incredible, amazing, smart, loving, however, very troubled by what he'd gone through during the Holocaust. He was 13 years old when the Nazis marched on Poland. When he was a young lad, his family home was taken over, they were deported, and the family was dispersed and sent to various camps. And ultimately, my father-in-law ended up on Schindler's List, which is something that we did not even know about when we started trying to research what happened to him.
Wow. And I understand he was like number 3 on the list?
Yes.
And you don't have any idea like what his skill was or why or
No
anything?
idea. Wish we knew, didn't know. Interestingly, we did encounter somebody who, a man named Albert White, who was on Schindler's List with my father-in-law. He was number 269 on the list.
Wow.
And we came across him very serendipitously, and he told us also that, he was the one that actually gave us a fair amount of information about my father-in-law's past and history, but he had no idea how he ended up on the list. Just one of those perchance luck things. He ended up on the list, saved his life, and miraculously, he ended up being number 3 because that was what helped us realize that he was even there, because he, of course, never told anybody about his history in the camps. We had no idea he was on Schindler's List, and the fact that he was number 3 was significant because we found out he was on the list from somebody else that just was watching a documentary on the making of Schindler's List, and they panned across the list, and there he was, number 3, and they phoned up and said, any chance that your dad was on Schindler's List? And it was like, well, maybe, don't know. He never said, but
Right.
he never talked about anything. So everything we found out was just by either hard work or just amazing luck.
So when did you and your husband like start getting interested in this? He never really talked about it to his son at all when his son was growing up?
No, Mark asked questions, and his dad was always, oh, we'll talk about this when you're older. We'll have the adult talk. And then sadly, his dad died before they ever had that opportunity to have the adult talk. And it kind of left Mark haunted that he knew nothing of his father's past. And Mark started doing a bit of research in about 1984 when he found, he was cleaning out his dad's nightstand and he found old pictures. And he asked his mom, he said, who are these people? And the mom said, oh, this was your dad's family. This was your dad's mother and your dad's 3 sisters. And he was just aghast. He said, Dad had sisters? I mean, what is the level?
It's amazing that he was able to even have a photo. I've kept it all those years.
Actually, what had happened, Holocaust survivors going through the camps ended up at the end when they were finally released from the camps had nothing. The only reason there were pictures is that they sent them to family members overseas. And the pictures that my father-in-law had that he kept as his treasures in his nightstand and never shared with his children were pictures that the family had sent to family members who'd gotten out and were living in Argentina.
Wow.
And then after they managed to survive, get released, end up in the U.S., the Argentinian section of the family said, we're going to send you these, you should have them.
Yeah. Well, I'm so grateful that you guys were at least able to have that. And so tell me about the coins. The coins were found, which is unbelievable.
The coins were found, which is absolutely unbelievable. It's probably, I don't know that there are any other cases of Holocaust survivors finding treasure in families' former homes back in Eastern Europe.
And now, were you guys able to claim those coins and keep those coins, or,
No.
or that was somebody else's property now?
Well, actually, when got to come and see the presentation
Okay, yeah, I don't want to give away
I don't want to give away
everything.
too much, but there was permission granted by the municipal government of the town where they were found, and the minute that they were unearthed, they struck claim to them, and they are now sitting in a museum in Poland.
Okay. Well, thank you, ladies, so much for being here today. And this is an unbelievable story. Going to be a great presentation.
Okay, I'm looking forward to it. Thank you for inviting us to be here.
Absolutely. If you find this story as fascinating as I do, please come to the Shalom Club's next meeting, Sunday, November 5th. That's this Sunday in Clubhouse 1 in the main lounge. The doors open at 2:30 and the meeting starts at 3 p.m. Admission is free to members and it's only $5 for non-members. Randy Biederman will be there speaking about the book she co-authored with her husband titled Schindler's Listed. Stay with us. Coming up next on this day, we'll have weather and announcements. We'll be right back.